everyone. Today I'm going to talk about why you can't save Revit as a previous version and will probably never be. So as you can see, for example, let's say that I will have a Revit 25 and I want to save as a Revit 24 version. This video will be a little bit different than all of the others because I'm not going to use Revit as a software as a whole, but I will have this small presentation in here for you. So Revit developers say that there are only two possibilities of how you could save Revit file to previous version, and that is freeze the file format or make converters. Freezing the file format means that it will significantly slow down the speed of Revit development because the majority of Revit new features need changes to the file format, and that is not a priority for Autodesk. Make converters. Converters could in theory convert new data to old data, but this is much easier in theory than in reality. And they say that in reality it is a pretty difficult task to do. One example on why this is so difficult to have, this backward compatibility, it's, for example, let's say that in newer version of Revit 25, they add an arc wall. This wall now has a new definition and new geometric property of a diameter, which it needs to store somehow. For example, here you can see I have 2500 millimeters. So for this information, the new file format is created. And when you want to save this newer version of wall into the older version of Revit, let's say for our example that to Revit 24, which only supports linear wall, the older version of Revit doesn't know how to use this new data and would convert this wall to a linear wall, because that is only thing that it knows. So it would make all your curved walls into linear walls, and that would just destroy your project and your geometry. The another scenario is that they could at least, let's say, preserve the geometry, so the wall would be curved, also in the previous version, but it would be a dumb geometry because Revit would not recognize it as a wall, and so it will lose all the intelligent behavior of walls, for example, wall joints, parameters, and so on. You would not be able to change the geometry, and it will be just static, like importing a CAD file. So this is why they say that in theory the best they could do is to get some broken state of the file, where probably more things would be broken than functioning. And that is why they do not want to develop this now and nor even in the future. So Revit will probably never be backward compatible, so we will never be able to save to a previous version of Revit.